Hello, finally, it's here. The long awaited food plan of Easter. I have promised it for a couple of months, and I apologize to those of you who have been so very patient and kind and waiting. I have been totally intimidated thinking about filming myself cooking and filming my food and filming. I don't know, it's just really intimidating to me, so I apologize. But when one viewer kindly suggested that I just talk about it, which is in my comfort zone, I thought, you know what? That's a great idea. I'm going to talk about it because I can talk to you about why I eat what I eat and certain other things that are just as important as what you eat. So, before I talk about the food, let's talk about the other really important part of your eating, the behaviors. I don't binge. I binged twice a day, usually. I don't pick and graze between meals or even while I'm cooking or during the day going to the fridge, wandering and grabbing something. That's gone. So don't emotionally eat. And I want to address that in another video because I know I've talked about it, but I want to talk about tools and resources and what you can do instead of emotionally eating. Comfort eating. No. Second helpings, second portions. No. All of these things are important and things that you need to watch for, and just as important as what you put in your mouth. Okay? So now let's talk about the food. My food plan is really simple. It had to be simple or I wouldn't do it. I don't weigh and measure. Even when I'm cooking and baking, I don't weigh and measure. I never have. The only thing I have ever measured is baking soda and baking powder because they have to be exact. Otherwise, I don't even own proper, what do they call the little measuring spoons? I don't own measuring spoons. So how was I going to be someone that got out the scale, put their portion on the scale, measured in the measuring cup? I don't even know where my measuring cups are. Like, I don't use them. I just, 2 lugs equals 2 tablespoons. Rule of thumb. How do I measure salt? I go like this in my hand, and when it's a little size of less than a dime, that's enough salt for what I'm making. So weighing and measuring might be something you need if you're a person who needs a lot of structure, but I don't, and I resist it. I like to do what I like to do my way, and my way was to freely eliminate the foods that were a problem for me and just go with the flow with the rest of it and be smart. Don't go off the food plan, like stick to the foods that I said, stick to the portions I said, but otherwise, I didn't have a lot of rules in place. Typically, a breakfast will look like this for me. I will have 2 eggs. Most mornings, I have 2 eggs. 2 eggs. Eggs can look like fried on a Teflon pan without oil, or it can be hard-boiled eggs, or my favorite scrambled. My second favorite, little omelets where I put mushrooms, cut up tomatoes, cut up onions, cut up garlic, and whatever else I may have that I feel like putting in it. Often with the eggs, I'll have a side dish of tiny little chopped pieces of cucumber and tomato. I love that for breakfast with a little bit of basil, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of olive oil, and away we go. A little bit of olive oil. I'm very careful with fats and oils. Otherwise, breakfast could be chia pudding, which I actually will try to put some recipes down below after I post this. I'll go back and try to find some recipes for you. Chia pudding is delicious, super easy to make. You need to prepare it ahead of time, so I usually make it the night before and it lasts a couple of days. Overnight oatmeal. Chia pudding and overnight oatmeal both get fruits added to them. So usually blueberries and raspberries are my go-to. I might put strawberries once in a while. And that's it for my breakfast. I don't usually eat anything different than that. Lunch, I have no snacks between lunch and breakfast. I might have 2 coffees. My coffee has cream in it. I know some of you won't have the fats of the cream, but fats weren't a problem of mine, so I didn't need to eliminate them. And obviously it hasn't been a problem of mine because I've lost 200 pounds. Lunchtime looks like usually small things for me. I used to be a 2-meal eater, 2 meals. And I went to 3 because everything that I read and everybody I talked to said, oh no, to have a good, proper, healthy lifestyle diet, you need to incorporate 3 meals. So I did. My lunchtime meal usually looks like a rice cake with unsweetened organic almond butter, sometimes peanut butter, I might throw a little bit of honey on there. I know it's sweet, but I mean, nobody says that we can't have anything organically sweet. And when I say a little, I mean like a drop that I spread around. I may have a little bit of tuna fish with vegetables chopped up and a little bit of olive oil. I may have salad, or I might have leftovers from the night before, which is typically a protein and a vegetables. Again, I have small lunches because I'm not naturally a 3 meal person. Dinner, on the other hand, gets a little more exciting. I make a lot of dishes with beans, dried beans, and they include chickpeas, white beans, kidney beans, lentil beans. I make things like chili or chickpea salad, or I'll make roast chicken with potatoes, or have barbecue chicken, barbecue steak, barbecue beef burgers without all the crap in them. You just keep them to the roast beef and a little bit of egg. And like I said, I'll post some recipes for you. I may make quinoa salad. I may make quinoa pasta. And if I make quinoa pasta, typically I do a basic marinara sauce, which is very lightweight and very simple. My marinara sauce is as simple as it gets, and it's healthy. Salads are always a go-to for me. For dinner, I like to have really chunky salads, like the Greek style salads where you have the chunky tomato, the chunky cucumber, you have the chopped peppers, lots of garlic, feta cheese. What else do I eat for dinner? Soups. I make a lot of soup, actually. My favorite is chicken lentil soup. I make a Turkish soup called ezoglim, which is beautiful. I make wraps. Sometimes the only flour I have now, so I did no flour for a long time, but I've since, losing my weight, incorporated only wraps a couple of times a week at the very most. That's the only flour I have. And of course, when we talk about carbohydrates, I do have some here and there. May have a little bit of rice with dinner, may have a little bit of potatoes with dinner. Not mashed potatoes because they have a lot of crap in them, but roasted potatoes are nice. And I use lemon, and I use a little bit of olive oil, and I use oregano or rosemary, depending if I feel like having it more Greek style or more Italian style. Roast carrots, grilled vegetables, grilled peppers. I will sometimes make stir fries. I love stir fries. And I discovered rapini several years ago, and it is my go-to vegetable. And I can sometimes have that as a meal. Some people call it broccoli rabe, but it looks like a broccoli with really long stems and really small flowers on it. I make that with a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of salt, and sometimes add chili peppers on it. And it is chef's kiss. Beautiful. My favorite vegetable. And I have it 2 or 3 times a week, so that's how good it is. Of course, broccoli and cauliflower and carrots and a whole slew of vegetables. Vegetables are your best friend. Have as much as you want. You can double your portion of vegetables. That's your one thing that you can say, oh, I feel like having a bigger portion. Yeah, go for it. It's good. It's all good. I don't have desserts. I have fruits sometimes in the day at the side of one of my meals. So typically blueberries and raspberries, sometimes bananas. I don't usually snack, but I want to clarify something. If you're like me and you expend a lot of energy, so my energy might look like 2 hours straight in the gym, or it might look like a 14-kilometer, 7-mile walk. It might look like 6 hours with 2-year-old babies. Try that for energy. It might look like just a really hard workout at home. And it might look like me dancing for an hour and a half. So I do typically more than one of those things a day. And I will have a fruit if I need it, or yogurt with fruit. And if I need to snack because I'm feeling a little lightheaded or just super hungry and I know my body needs a little more caloric intake, I don't count calories, but I'm aware of them. And I tell you right now, do not count calories. Do not count calories. If you count calories, you're dieting. We don't diet. We change how we eat permanently, and we eat healthy permanently. And the best thing about all of this is, I tell you how excited I used to get putting that ice cream in my mouth and having that taste. When I take those cucumbers and tomatoes in the morning, and I take my first taste with a tiny little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper, maybe oregano on it or basil, my mouth feels like it's exploding with flavor, and it's even better than the desserts used to be. It's better than the sweets used to be. So delicious. I have coffee every day, and I have a big coffee every day, and I have cream in it, but fats aren't my problem, so it's okay for me to have cream. And I don't have other fats besides that. I also drink copious amounts of licorice tea. It's my favorite. I drink it by usually 1 to 1.5 pots a day. And that is my 2 liters of water a day as well. Very important. You have to keep your water intake up. It flushes things through. It does so much for your body, makes your skin glow, keeps your body healthy, keeps your energy up, keeps you burning calories. It is endless, the benefits to water. So please drink your 2 liters of water a day. It is so, that's my eating plan, and I hope it resonates with you, and I hope that you've found some inspiration and motivation from this. I know it sounds kind of flimsy because I refuse to weigh and measure, but it works, and it's kind, and it's loving, and it's acknowledging that I'm not a person who can weigh or measure. Enjoy the freedom of a food plan like mine, because it really does work. And if you have questions, I welcome them. I love the community we're building here. I appreciate all the input you give me. I appreciate the questions. I appreciate the requests for videos. And if you have more, I'm happy to make them. I'm happy to answer your questions. And thank you again for your patience with this video. And I hope it helps you on your weight loss journey and your fitness transformation. So yes, this eating plan has lost me 200 pounds. So I hope this inspires you. I hope this motivates you. And I hope that you see that it can be really simple and be really effective if you just follow it.